sure you're entitled to know, right?
I asked. Apparently, Ja Crowley's doing some sort of ring toss game or some sort of circus antics. I actually don't know entirely. I think he's doing it for money. I really don't fucking know. Honestly, I don't even want to ask. I asked, but I don't want to know anything else further than that.
I have so many questions about that guy. So many questions.
Yes.
That's not casting judgment.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the office. Damn it, I gotta redo that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Musty River office. Fuck, I fucked it up again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Musty World Office podcast. In the office edition with Juan edition. And we are here, finally. We are in here. So, Juan, I'm just going to go right off the bat. How many people, like, Americans mess up your name and call you Juan? It seems like everybody does.
That's a good question, actually. I don't see that as really a mess up.
Yeah.
Because I'll say my name is Juan, and what I always get is Quan.
Quan.
That's messing it up, because they hear that sound and they think I'm saying a qua.
Yeah.
So then I'll say Juan. Just call me Juan. So
Juan. Oh, so you say it like that too, Juan.
No, I don't. But I'm just saying, like, when they start saying Quan,
then
I'm just like, no,
yeah,
okay,
it's
just
more
Juan.
of like African American name. Quan, it just seems to me.
Actually, the African American, I don't know, variant, if you want to say that, is there are some people that go by Jawan.
Jawan.
Same spelling, they just say the J, Jawan. But it's funny, I didn't notice that until maybe high school, because I remember I was in a class. I think I was in it was an acting class, and whatever. We weren't doing any. Yeah, I was big into theater in high school and stuff.
Oh no.
Yeah, man. And whatever. I guess the class itself isn't relevant, but it was a small class, and I was chatting with some of the guys, and I said my name for whatever reason, and they were like, "Your name is Juan? Did you say Juan?" And then they started overdoing it.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh yeah." You know, like, it was just like second nature. Like, I was just doing it subconsciously because it's my name. You know what I mean?
To me, it's like a pretty common Hispanic name. Like it's almost as common as John in America, if you could put it that way.
In any language, it's one of the most common names. You know, John, Juan. You know, Jan. You know, Johannes. You know, Giovanni, João, Jean. You know,
nice.
In all the different languages.
Yeah. So, ¿Qué onda, man?
¿Qué onda?
You taught me that, and I've been using that on my Mexican friends. And they're just like, "Where do you learn that from?" And I'm like, I have one.
You'll never guess.
Yeah. I have one Hispanic friend, and he, well, no, I have a couple, but yeah, he teaches me things. Not many things, but I think you taught me like words like, I don't know, masturbation or like something like that along those lines.
Who I did.
Something with like a straw, or you like to straw yourself or something. Is that how you do it?
Hacerse la paja.
La paja.
Hacerse la paja. Yeah.
And that means?
It means to jerk off, yeah.
Okay, very well. Yeah,
as a slang term, yeah. But yeah, paja. Well, actually, the word paja isn't straw. I don't think I really know what paja is, but I think...
Doesn't it just mean short, though? Paja?
Paja, no. But pajilla is a word they use in one country for straw. The thing is that we have one word for straw in English, and it's straw. Yeah. But in different Latin American countries, it's one of those words that it varies by country to country. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't realize how like diverse the Spanish speakers are, and I thought they're all friends, but apparently sometimes the Guatemalans don't like the Mexicans too much, and sometimes they don't get along. Or maybe you know better than I do, but
I would say for the most part they get along. You know, I like them. I have no problem with them.
I just assumed they were all friends, but apparently there's some. I guess.
I mean, they're not all friends. Like Americans, all Americans and all Canadians aren't friends.
Yeah,
you know?
It makes sense.
But I don't have a problem with Canadians. Even Canadians that are like, man, Americans are loud and annoying. It's like, yeah, well, we are. You know what I mean? Like,
I like the Canadians. The French Canadians sort of confuse me a little bit, the way they speak. But I'm learning Spanish, not French. I'm not even interested in French at all. I talked to a French guy on the phone yesterday at work, and it sounded like he just had like peanut butter stuck in his mouth. Like, I don't even know.
Frenchman, yeah.
I don't even know how to sound like him. But yeah, just assume that.
Now go on, let's hear that accent. You want to do a French accent?
He's like I don't even know what to say. Do you got a good one?
I don't know if I have a good one. What is this? We are doing the podcast.
Yes.
With Tyler and Juan.
Wow, that is pretty good.
We are in Blue Ash.
Blue Ash.
Blue Ash.
Yeah, a lot of the like that sound.
Yeah.
But yes, aside from that, if you get too hot, dude, just feel free to take off your jacket because it's fucking hot in here.
I'm fine. I'm comfortable.
All right,
Thanks,
cool.
Man. Yeah.
But I do like the jacket. Anyways.
Thanks, man. Yeah, well, I'm going to be doing stand-up tonight at the Tap Room. Otherwise, I probably would have dressed down a little bit more.
Yeah, am I going to like hold you up from that, or are you on the list already?
Oh, no, man. No, you're good, man. I'm doing it later. They have 2 blocks. I'm on
the late.
The 10:30 block.
Starts at 10:30? Holy shit.
It's late, yeah. It's late, man.
I may stop up there. I'm not sure. But speaking of comedy, I guess we'll talk a little bit about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to tell you that from watching your past like few sets, like it seems like you're way more comfortable on stage, and it also seems like you've got like maybe, I don't know if it's like a cockiness, but it's like you got some balls up there, you know? Where
Wow,
it's like,
thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm just like, damn, did Juan really just say that shit? Like you'll go after someone in the crowd, like some chick on her phone last week. You're just like,
were you there for that? That was funny.
Yeah, you're just like, put your fucking phone away or something.
No, I didn't say that, but it was.
Right.
I remember at the end, I was like, yeah, the silly girl on her phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just seems like, I don't know what it is, but something clicked, and you just got like, you got balls up there.
The thing is, I'm trying to do crowd work a little bit more, but I'm trying to do it like in doses, for lack of a better word. Because like I was watching that set back, because I take videos of almost all my sets, so I was watching it from playback, and I'm like, and I was thinking to myself, well, I could have maybe, because I said, because I like called her out for being on her phone, and I said something like, yeah, she doesn't care, she's on her phone.
Yeah.
And then she looked up at me as if to be like, who, me? And I'm like, yeah, hi, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And I was like, you having a good time tonight? And she was like, I'm trying to, or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I forget what I had said. I said, and I don't think I said that. I was like, oh no, she said sometimes. Mm-hmm. And I just clapped back with, well, you know, if you weren't on your phone, you'd probably enjoy all of it. Damn. You know, and then, and then that's not the part I wish I had said differently. She said that, and then I said my bit, and then she was like, well, I got the joke about the you know, the bipolar one. Yeah. And I should have clapped back again, mocking her like I just did, being like, oh, no, you know, at least she got one joke, but she couldn't bother to pay attention to the other 2 jokes I had told. Something like that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're like pretty quick and witty up there. I guess you're working on that with your crowd work stuff.
Yeah. Well, you were there when for the roast.
Yes.
Jonathan Hamill's roast that he's doing down in Mount Adams.
Saw the roast with Ian.
Exactly.
Honestly,
yeah.
You came pretty hard.
He did, and I was thinking, I know.
I think you did.
Oh, you think I did? Yeah. Well, Ian, trust me. If you think I brought it hard, Ian brought it hard too. And I kept thinking, because I was trying to improvise a little bit. Because Ian had his notebook with him, and I had some stuff on this paper, but I didn't want to like stand there like a dork, like Ian, blah blah blah, Ian, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? So I just trying to be cool or whatever, you know, with no humility whatsoever. I just, well, that's a bit harsh, but like I was too, I guess kind of too proud to like take the list and read off it, you know, because I had some good stuff written about Ian, and I was trying to recall what I had written, but Ian was just coming at me. So I was trying to just respond off that, and it didn't work. So I was thinking like I should maybe start, and I know it's like Sam Milazzo told me that he's been doing this, where just roasting the comic, you know, like the comic that was on before you. Like I know that they do that at Hi-Fi. It's a staple there. But even where it's not commonplace, you know, like I do it a little bit at, I think I did it at Tap Room. I had something written. I had something about Cody. I think I roasted and Alex Schubert at Chameleon last Thursday. But it's just like a little thing. It's not like a pronounced thing. It's not like I spend like more than a minute. You know, like I came after Cody last Wednesday because, you know, he hosts the Tap Room. I guess there's another host that does the late block, but he was still there. And I was like, well, I'm still going to roast him. Why not? And this was last week or the week before last or whatever. But just trying to do that a little bit. Just stuff that I come up with right then and there. I mean, every now and then it's stuff that I think about, because Ian definitely brought his A game to that roast, and I left thinking,
I thought you did too.
I appreciate that.
I wanted to say you won. I didn't want Ian to hear it, but like I thought you did Not,
Nice,
I don't
okay.
know, better, whatever the word is, but you came harder at
Yeah.
him where he was to the point where like, damn, dude, that kind of hurt.
Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to, take this more seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've been trying to write more. I've been trying to, I noticed like a lot of the funny stuff I have, a lot of the clever stuff is the one-liners, but I want more like observational stuff, more anecdotal stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't really have,
One-liners are good, but it's like, it's over in like 10 seconds and then you're on to the next thing. So it's like, you're going to need a lot of them.
Right. And I don't want a set of just one-liners. Maybe at like the tap room, where you're only on for 3 minutes. But even then, I like to at least have one little thing in there,
Yeah.
And I've been trying to push myself to write more. And it's not that everything is some big, long bit, but, I'm just thinking of stuff. And as it comes to me, writing down, or at least telling myself that I should write it down.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way with like my material. I'm trying to talk more about like myself or have the crowd relate to me more rather than just make fun of different groups of people. Like I get like
right.
Like I don't know, people thought I was actually being racist for a while. People thought I was being like homophobic for a while.
Really?
I'm just like,
I never got that vibe.
I'm just like, dude, it's all jokes, but I'm trying to change it from that to sort of like crowd pleasing a little bit more, not totally, but just be like, hey, I'm Tyler. I went to Catholic school. Make some jokes about that. Say the priest fucked me. That's that's the low hanging fruit. I don't want to use. I don't like to use it. It's kind of hacky in my opinion, but it worked.
No, I get it. I've been wanting to do more jokes about like religion and politics because I the first time I did stand up, the first 2 times I ever did it, I did a bit on secular music and like why do we call secular music? Like we don't. The term exists and I know why it exists, but like we don't say secular film, secular poetry, like. Sure, you might have heard the phrase like the secular world or,
secular
the
just
secular
means
calendar.
Like religious or
non-religious.
Non-religious.
Or secular wisdom, secular reasoning, not faith-based, not religious, basically. But other than that, I don't really talk about religion too much. And it's not that I don't want to or I'm uncomfortable. I just want it to be a good bit,
Right.
Because with religion, you can't mess around,
Yeah.
Like we can't mess around in the sense that like you have to have a good bit. I don't want to get up there and say some crappy bit. You know what I mean? Like some bit that it seems like I didn't put any effort into it.
Right. And I don't like to focus too much on religion up there either. But
right.
A lot of my stuff is like half finished bits. Like it'll be pretty much a setup without any punchlines. I'm still like figuring it out, but I also want to go up at the same time. So it's like I'm gonna sort of bomb tonight, guys. But fuck it. I tell myself like I came and did it and all this shit. So, but yeah, it's and then it was nice seeing you last night do your Trump impression. Apparently, you've been doing a few impressions now that I've missed out on.
Who told you that? I've only done the one impression. I've only done the Trump impression.
Really?
I mean,
well, I heard about your Obama impression and some other president.
Yeah, but like from who? Who told you about the Obama impression? Like I think I did it for you, right? But like who did you hear it from?
Well, didn't you perform it once? I think people were saying like you performed it. Someone outside.
No, Trump. I've never done Obama. Which I'm not against it. I just haven't done it.
Yeah, someone outside Hi-Fi was saying like he's got all these impressions now, and I'm like they're pretty fucking good.
See,
especially
and that's
Trump
the
one.
thing. I started doing stand up 6 months ago. I started doing stand up in mid-November. I did it 2 times as kind of like a one-off thing or a 2-off thing if that exists. I did it at Chameleon. I did it like 4 or 5 days later at Hi-Fi. I'm not at Hi-Fi at the B List when David Stewart was hosting it.
Yeah,
it's like the week leading up to Thanksgiving.
Damn, it's been that long.
Yeah, but I had some other stuff and I was happy with how it went. Like again, I was still new and like the reception I got at the B List. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. And I was like, I could do this again. So the following month I did it and I've just been doing it almost consistently, really not since December, but since January, really. I don't think I've gone a week without doing stand up apart from maybe 1 or 2 weeks out of this whole year, maybe 3 weeks total.
Yeah.
But I started doing it and I didn't want to do impressions.
Right.
Because I didn't want to be like an impressionist comedian. I didn't want to get up there every night and be like, hey guys, I'm going to be Donald Trump again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think someone mentioned that, like, maybe he shouldn't do it every time.
Yeah, it was either Sam or Reagan. They were saying that. Or no, it was
maybe
Jake. Jake Duran was saying it at Jake said it at I keep forgetting the name of it, at B-List. The B-List. Yeah, and like I'm not going to be doing that material tonight, you know. I want to develop that bit more actually,
but
you know.
To be honest, like it doesn't really matter what they say because they're just comedians, you know. Obviously it's good advice, but like you're doing it for the random people that haven't seen you before.
No, and that's fair, and that's why it's worth doing, you know. And I think that's all Jake was trying to say is don't do it every time you have it. You know you can do it. You know, don't stop writing, you know, because for a while I wasn't writing. You know, I was doing a set, like not related to Trump, but I was doing I think I tried doing a set, like the same jokes every night for like a month, like mid-March through mid-April. And it was good because it got consistent laughs and it allowed me to just, you know, have that ready in my back pocket. Yeah. You know, I didn't really have to like rehearse it every night after a while. But what I was going to tell you is that Trump impression, I've been doing Donald Trump impressions for like 2 years now. I've had that voice down. I think I first did it at work, at my job, the job that I had 2 years ago at the time. And, you know, like it's funny because I just sort of like nailed it. It's not like I worked at it. I used to like not do a good Trump impression, you know.
Well, it's almost like you went and watched one of his speeches and just pretty much took what he said because you'll say things like the do-nothing Democrats.
Yeah, that's the thing with doing impressions like Trump or any impressions for that matter. You have to have the accent down, the cadence down, the mannerisms, and you know the things they say. You don't have to have all four of those. The they isn't if you're doing an impression of anyone. You don't have to have all four of those.
Yeah, but you got that like rasp to it, that raspy Trump, like the growl almost. That's really good.
And that's the thing is that I didn't actually used to have that growl, but I started So the reason why I do the impression, I talk about the Baltimore Bridge is that it's random. Trump didn't say anything. Trump didn't have anything to do with the Baltimore Bridge collapse. At least not that I know of. You know, he didn't comment on it. I don't think he did, at least. But I was, truth be told, I was hanging out at my uncle's house. I was hanging out. I was over with my uncle. Obviously, my cousins were over there, and we were just having a little family get together. I forget what was going on, if it was like Easter weekend or something, and we were just talking about it, like, you know, the Baltimore Bridge. And I think someone had said like, hey, you know, what if Trump had been, or they were like joking that Trump was responsible and all this stuff, and all, you know, and basically like we were saying like, what if Trump had been, you know, steering the ship, you know, and I just impromptu was like, so there I was driving my boat down Cheapskate Bay. Oh,
dude, it's too good.
You know, stuff like that. And honestly, most of that bit is unchanged, you know. I mean, not most of it, but the main bit that I like, the main part of like, there I was driving my boat on Cheapskate Bay. You know, I didn't know there was a bridge there. You know, like he, you know, he would do that. He would say that and get all excited. You know, and I was just like picturing like, what if he would be like that at a rally? You know, probably. That's why I say I think I could do crowd Trump. Same with Obama.
Crowd Trump.
I can do Trump in front of an audience, because if you notice, like the impression is like Trump speaking to an audience, not just him, you know, speaking calmly or something. You know, same with Obama. Like I can do like Obama on stage, you know, at a rally or something.
People love how good of a speaker Obama is, but I think he's kind of boring with all the like pausing he does. He'll just pause for like 5 seconds. It's like, dude, just come on. But that's like a technique that speakers use, and to me, it's just like, I don't know, that guy's kind of boring.
I think it's good if it's well placed. You know, I mean, it's something that I even do on stage. It's one of the earliest pieces of advice I actually got about public speaking, and nothing like not related to Obama. Like it had nothing to do with Obama particularly. But I think my grandpa once told me, he was like, before you give a speech, like at the start of it, at the start of a speech, a presentation, whatever it is,
just say nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, but he's like, just start with like a brief like period of silence. You know, like don't overdo it, you know. Although the funny thing is that I've been trying to incorporate pauses into my sets, like not just to allow for laughter, but just like just if the joke calls for it, you know, it adds suspense, it adds drama. Yeah. You know, not if I'm starting my set with silence, like again, no more than like 5 to 10 seconds, you know.
Yeah, not like Jonathan Hamill.
I don't know how he does that.
He'll do it for like a minute and a half.
Well, Jonathan Hamill could get away with it just because he's Jonathan Hamill. I don't know. Like if you watch the rest of his set, you're like, oh, I see why he did it. You know what I mean?
I don't think he does it much anymore because he's got like a lot of material. But he does a little like act out things too, sort of impressions, and I think they're pretty good. I don't want to spoil his jokes, but
He has some good impressions.
Watching him last night, I'm just like, damn, this guy's got like solid jokes, like the Judaism joke too. Everyone knows that, and yeah, he's got a lot of solid bits.
Yeah, but he's varying his material, which all the comics should do, and I'm starting to see that with me. Like I can't say the same jokes every night. Like even my dad. Like I've been trying to get my folks on board, and like all my family to come out and see me. I've had my cousin has come out to see me. Shout out to my cousin for coming to see me. Appreciate it, Daniel. You're the man. My dad has come out to see me, and some other relatives have come out to see me. But by and large, most of my relatives and most of my friends haven't come out to see me. Only, I think, 2 of my friends have come out to see me. I'm trying to invite some friends to come out next week to come see me because I want to do the Funny Bone amateur comedy night, the open mic comedy night that they do up in Liberty Center. And that works because a lot of my friends live in Mason or Westchester or Liberty and like nearby.
Yeah.
But my dad came to see me in Dayton, actually, at Wiley's at the comedy club up in downtown Dayton. And we were talking about it afterwards, like a few days afterwards. And he was like, don't get stale. Keep your jokes fresh. Be writing every day or writing consistently or frequently. And I'm glad that he said it that way because he also said, like, if you keep doing the same jokes, like, you're just going to be known for that. People, the comics and the audience in general, they're not going to be interested in seeing you.
Well, comics mostly, I think that's like the main people who are going to know you for that. Like as a comic, it's kind of like, oh, here he goes again. But it's like, it's your set, man. And it might be a new crowd. Someone in that room has not seen you before. So it's like,
that's true.
You're doing it for them. But at the same time, I think of those people that do the same one over and over. And I'm just like, fuck, here we go again.
Right.
So it is like a double-edged sword.
Yeah, and I had that with my joke on dating or dating apps. Like, I said that the first 19 sets. It was the only joke that I had said all 19 times. And then I finally did a set without it. And I've only told that joke at 2 other, during 2 other sets since then,
Yeah, I'm not much of a repeater. Like, especially when I started, I didn't repeat anything for like a year. Just all new shit every week. Not saying it was like good stuff, but now I'm trying to actually at least 3 times. I think that's a good number. Just to really see if it's funny, get shit straightened out and all that.
I've seen that. I'll do it from like 3 to 5 times, but for me, like 5 is a lot, even though it's really not, But I mean, I'll look at the jokes I've told, and if I've told it 5 times, I've probably stopped telling that joke because in my mind it's like run its course, so to speak.
Depending on the location too. Like with my jokes, I'll write like where I did it sometimes, and I'll be like, I already did it at this place, so do it somewhere else. But
yeah, that's true. And I guess like if I were to travel, or if you were to travel, like the set might be different. Like I know I did stand up in New Jersey actually back in February. I know I've now done it in 3 states. Isn't that cool?
Oh, crap.
Ohio, Kentucky, and New Jersey. Which technically that was my first out of town show because like Northern Kentucky is part of the area, part of the Cincinnati area. But I did it, and I brought back some older stuff. But I also did some Ohio specific stuff. Kind of teasing Ohio a little bit that I probably wouldn't tell, or at least most of those jokes in Ohio.
Around here, yeah.
Yeah. Not because they'd be offensive, just like the premise of the joke is talking about Ohio to non-Ohioans.
And a lot of people like have opinions of Ohio outside of here, so it's probably like funny for them.
Yeah, but I did bring back a few jokes. Like I feel like and Jonathan Hamill was saying that. Like I was talking to him about his Judaism's joke. I really like that joke that he does. And if you tell me like name one joke that Jonathan Hamill tells, I'd probably tell you that one because he says he's been saying that one a lot.
Pretty much every time, but he does change the wording a bit, which is nice.
But he actually hasn't been doing it as often, and he told me that he really wants to only do that joke now if he goes on the road.
Yeah,
and that's something
we've all seen it by now, so
exactly
it works.
And it's the same thing with Trump. I don't just want to do Trump over and over again.
Yeah, you'll just be the Trump guy.
Yeah, in fact, I don't really have a lot of jokes about Trump, and that's not necessarily because of some sort of bias for him or against him. I don't. Yeah. Most of the stuff I have on politics is about like making fun of the individual, like not the individual, like the individual politician, like the individual person.
It's pretty cool. I don't see too many comedians get political at all, so I like that. I mean, there's always the one who I don't know anyone in particular, but there's always one guy who
it's fine if it's funny. If you're just gonna get up there and make a statement, like it's not a rally. You know what I mean?
Some people think that.
Don't come up there talking about how we need to save America or the soul of America. Like, no, make it about the people. Don't make it about the message. It's not a platform for you. You know, you're not a spokesperson, you know, for Biden, for Trump, for anyone. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I'm all about free speech. I'm all about freedom of expression. Art is freedom of expression. If you want to get up there and do that, fine. It's just not the best use of your time.
That's true. Not everyone's going to like it, or you'll split the room pretty quickly.
Exactly, yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, those are all good things.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
And you're writing a lot, or like you write pretty frequently throughout the week, or?
I come up with jokes pretty frequently, but I don't necessarily write them down right away. In fact, I won't. Sometimes I'll be thinking of it while I'm like driving or something, and like I'm not going to necessarily pull over and write it down, but I'll think, I need to like once I get home, as soon as I get home, I need to write that down.
Yeah. Or you'll lose it most of the time. Well, some people are like that. They're like, I got to write it down right now. Wake up in the middle of the night, fucking pull out the notebook, and just write the premise.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of annoying because sometimes, like, I don't know about you, but like I'll have creative spurts like that, and I don't think I'm the only one. And I would see the same with music. You know, I don't talk about it like too much. I've mentioned it like when it's relevant at stand up, but I with music, I've been playing guitar for 12 years. Yeah. And I've written a few original songs, but sometimes just today this happened. I had a melody for a song, but I was driving down the highway, far away from my guitar, far away from my house.
How the fuck are you going to remember that?
Exactly. I was trying to recall the melody when I got home. You know, I was trying to play it on my guitar, and I don't really play guitar a lot. I haven't been playing as much these days, which I feel bad about that. You know,
what are some of your best cover songs you do?
My best cover song? I don't
like
really do a lot
like
of
when
covers.
You practice, do you ever like play any classic songs or like
it depends on what I'm in the mood for.
Yeah.
You know?
I got a friend who's like practicing guitar and he does like, you know, Mac DeMarco.
Actually, no, he doesn't sound familiar.
No. He like tunes his guitar in a weird way where everything is like up, like pitched up, where it's like a ding ding, ding like a higher pitch. Everything is higher
yeah,
pitch.
I know what you mean.
And that's like his style. And yeah, my friend practices that. Do you know Tyler, the Creator?
I know who Tyler, the Creator is, yeah.
Some of his songs have like guitars in it. And
that's right, yeah.
Yeah. My friend just messes around with it. But as far as myself, I don't play instruments, but I can make a pretty cool rap beat if you need me to.
Cool. We'll keep that in mind, actually.
If you ever need one.
Some of the songs I do aren't guitar based. Like, guitar is the main instrument, but I can kind of, like, I bought a keyboard with the intention of, like, learning it a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And even though I haven't, like, I don't play piano, I don't play keyboard, I should. I can do basic chords on the piano. But yeah, there's a couple of songs with like a cool drum loop and like a little synth bit.
Yeah.
You know, I was actually thinking about that song earlier. One of the 2 or 3 songs that I have. So hoping to maybe diversify my music choices and my musical output, to put it that way. But right now I've been focusing on stand-up, on the comedy.
That's true. That's how I am, focused on one at a time. Do you like record your music on like something on the computer?
Yeah.
Like GarageBand?
Yeah, if I have a demo and it's like guitar or singing or both, I'll record it on my phone.
Damn.
But sometimes I'll have like the drum loop will be in mind, or like I'll be playing around with like a cool sound on like the synthesizer, because it's a keyboard, but you can load, like you just I hook it up to my computer and I can you know, like dial in different sounds, and sometimes I just play around with it and go, ooh, that works. You know?
So it is GarageBand?
I was using GarageBand. Now I'm using Logic Pro.
Logic. That's like GarageBand on acid, basically.
Yeah, even I'm trying to figure it out. In some ways, it's a lot easier, but it's more complicated.
There's so many things.
You need that, I guess, complexity. More complex, I guess. And
I love fucking Logic Pro. I use it to edit the podcast, too. Like, it's my fucking favorite.
Oh, do you? That's good.
Favorite DAW, as they say.
That's right. Digital audio workstation. Yeah. That's right.
I'm a pretty good audio guy. I don't play instruments, but I'm an audio guy.
I want to get better at that. And I've been
EQ wise.
Exactly. Because that's the most I can do is like clean up my voice, you know?
Yeah.
Now, actually becoming a better singer is different, as I've found, because sometimes I'll sing something, I'll go into GarageBand or Logic Pro and clean it up. And I'm like, ew, I sound nasally here. I sound like I smoked a pack of cigarettes before I sang it. And obviously, I wouldn't smoke cigarettes before singing.
You ever mess with Alchemy, like the little add-in on Logic?
No, I haven't. I haven't.
Heard of it?
I need to play around with it more. I keep thinking that. Like,
It's like one of the best. If you're using like a synthesizer keyboard, it's one of the best. Like so many instruments and sounds to mess with, and it's free. So
I'll keep that in mind because there's a couple cool. Like I so desperately need to finish some of the more like techno, electronic. I don't know why I say techno, electronic demos that I have. Because there's a good song that I have called After Party. It's a pretty simple song, but I want there to be like, there's a drum loop in there, there's synthesizers, the whole thing, you know, but live voice, it's me singing. It's not like digitized or AI or, you know, reproduced
pitch
audio
corrected.
or whatever. But it's, I want there to be like, there to be some element of like live drums in there, live guitar in there, live bass too.
That would be dope.
But I want to finish it because sometimes I'll just listen to it and I'll go, wow, that's really good. Or I have a new song. I don't have a title for it yet, but I was playing around with, it's the first thing I did on Logic Pro, actually. No, I did something else on Logic, but the first like song I attempted to complete, to put it that way, the first song I attempted to complete on Logic Pro. So,
do you plan on releasing these or putting them on like platforms? Music
someday,
stuff?
Tyler, someday.
You just have to finish them first.
I need to finish them, man, and that's why I don't ever talk about it because I don't want to be that guy that's talking about it. You know, because then like all my friends or family or all the comics are just gonna be like, oh, there goes Juan again talking about that. You know,
Yeah.
like if you notice, I don't talk about jokes. I just go out and share them.
That's true. I mean, you could talk about it more. It's not like you talk about it a lot, but also like, damn, I just forgot what I was gonna say. I think you should talk about it more.
Talk about more my jokes more, my music more.
Like what I was trying to say is music is, it sounds like maybe like a side thing next to comedy, like comedy's in the forefront, I guess. So you could just talk about it as a hobby, like you just did, like, hey, I'm working on these songs, but who knows if they'll ever see the light of day, you know?
Yeah, I could try to make a joke out of it. I mean, I do think of, I was thinking of doing a few more jokes about music. I think the first bit I did about it was called, and I like to title all my bits, and if you see my notes or what I bring on stage, it looks like a set list, like if I were a band. I don't bring notes up. I might have like, I'll have like the order of the titles of the jokes, and the idea is that like I don't need the whole joke because then otherwise I'm just gonna be like
reading
this is, you know,
line for
what
line.
I have here, like I'd rather just like try to recall the bit. You know, well, not try to. I'll rather recall the bit, and if I forget a detail, okay, you know, like obviously the idea is that I should know the bit well enough to remember all the important details.
Yeah.
But I'll have like my set list, that's what I call it, and I might have like segues in there, so I know like, okay, like I'm doing this joke, then I'm going to talk about this and use that to transition into my next bit, you know?
Yeah, I think a lot of us do the same thing because I do it. Like with set lists, like I used to write everything out and then read it, but it's like...
Yeah.
And I might forget a line or something, but when I just see the title of the joke and what it's about, it just like comes back to my head to remember.
Yeah, but I have a bit, I don't know if I called it musicians versus comedians or comedians versus musicians, but it was my first time talking about music on stage at least, and it was just a bit I did about how, like, you know, I show my family videos of me doing stand-up, and they want to give me a bunch of suggestions. But when I would show my family videos or pictures of me like on stage playing guitar, or playing bass, or performing, doing music with a band, doing it solo or whatever, they never gave me advice. They were never like, you know, and again, this is part of the joke, you know, they were never like, ooh, like, I noticed you were a little out of pitch there. You should try to like listen to the record and sing it, you know, like the way it's sung on the record. Or, you know, you were doing that in A minor. You could probably bump that up to C minor, C sharp minor, maybe.
Or maybe they don't have the music knowledge.
No, and that's the part of the joke. I'm like, these people know nothing about music. Pause. Let's keep it that way, and then that's what gets the laughs, you know?
Right. Maybe they know nothing about comedy either, but it's like everyone has their opinion on what you're saying.
No, really, exactly. And that's part of the joke, too, is everybody wants to be a comedian. Not everybody wants to be a musician. And sometimes that's when I'll say the let's keep it that way bit, you know? So,
does everyone want to be a comedian?
I don't know. You tell me.
No.
Tyler has spoken for the record. He has said, no, not everybody wants to be a comedian.
But
But
my family has also never seen me do comedy. I thought that'd be interesting to share.
interesting.
Also, don't really want them to.
Why
Don't really
not?
need them to. I don't know. It's just like, what's the point? Maybe if I'm like doing a real show rather than an open mic, maybe.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. Like that seems to be the attitude of a lot of comedians or a lot of the comics, in the scene here. Like I was telling one of the comics, like, oh yeah, I want to have some friends, come out. I want to, invite them to have them come out and see me. I made that sentence a lot longer than it needed to be. I was telling her, I was like, I want to invite some friends to come out and see me at this day or this time, or I don't even think I specified a time. I just want people to come out and see me. And she was like, oh, you invite your friends to come see you? That's cool.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'm trying to. And I guess my take is like, I'm not going to go out in the street to a bunch of strangers and be like, hey guys, like, why don't you come in here? We're having a comedy show. Like, you want to come see me? Even though I've thought about doing that too, like being at Chameleon and going out to the bar being like, you guys come in here. There's a comedy show. I'm on next.
That's
if you're
crazy.
interested.
Yeah.
But like, I've never actually done that. I might work up the courage one day or drink a lot and then do that, but like, what's a great way to start building your audience, building your fan base or whatever word you want to use with friends and family,
Damn. Is that right? I mean, all my friends are sort of on board.
It's not like a fact of life, but I mean, I would think like, I don't know, Tyler. I mean, it's for me, like, that's how I would start.
Those are the people you have at your disposal at first, I guess.
Yeah. And I guess for like my friends and family, like it'd be nice to just like, to be known for something, it's like, what does Juan bring to the table? Oh, he's funny. It's not that I think I'm worthless or I have no value, but just, even though I don't want to be a comedian known for doing a specific bit or a specific act, again, the whole I don't want to be an impressionist comedian. Yes, absolutely.
Yes. But you want your family to know, like, hey, here's
I'm
Juan.
doing something, you know
Juan,
what I mean?
tell us a joke.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
And like, I guess I don't mind that, like, knowing that, like, I am doing stand-up. But it's funny, I just started this part-time job. And not that I've told some of them that I do stand-up, and I've started to invite them to shows. They're the ones that were actually saying, hey, you should do the show at Funny Bone. Huh. And well, as coincidence would have it, as luck would have it, I'm combining those two phrases. Coincidentally,
don't think too hard.
Comma, as luck would have it, comma, too late, Tyler.
Yeah.
That's when I saw in the Facebook group that they announced the date for May. It's going to be May 30th for the amateur comedy night at Funny Bone. But anyways, so before I get too sidetracked, not everyone at my job knows that I do stand up. So they're like, hey man, you're funny. Have you ever thought about giving stand up a try? You could do it at Funny Bone, man. I'm like, oh, and I just kind of play dumb. I'm like, oh, you think I should, huh? Why don't you ask around, like trying to get them to talk to the people that do know that I do it. Like, why don't you ask around and see if everyone else agrees? Like, maybe if you guys all agree, maybe you guys could come out and see me. Maybe then I'll do it. He's like, yeah, man, you should totally give it a try, man. The jokes are there. You have the sense of humor. I'm like, I think I'll give it a try someday.
I love hearing that from non-comedians. Like, you're funny. You should try stand-up. And
exactly.
It's like, yeah, I'm sure I'd be great at it.
Yeah.
Then you write a joke and you're like, well, this is actually pretty hard. It's not as easy as you think.
Exactly.
Like, it's different to be situationally funny, but when you're on stage, it's like,
and that was the thing
art
for me.
It's like an art.
That was the thing for me. Like, everybody had always told me I was funny. People still do. Obviously, like, it's a good example of that. My coworkers, right? But as far back as high school, people would say, dude, you should be a comedian. You're funny, man. Your jokes are there. But, and sure, like, I came out of my shell a bit more in high school. I was kind of shy and introverted throughout middle school. I would try to make friends and I would try to, like, interact and, I don't know, develop my personality and show that. But I don't know, like, I was kind of maybe more passive than I could have been, like maybe shy isn't the best word I could use, but passive. So I started to come out more. I started to be more active and proactive. Just, making friends, but also reacting to stuff, because that's part of socializing and socialization is people seeing your reactions to stuff and making fun of yourself a bit more. You know what I mean? Because if you don't, then it's kind of awkward. Like, oh, sorry. If you can make fun of yourself and be natural in most circumstances, like people will see that you're not anxious, that you're not too cared about your image or your reputation. But anyways, I never did it. I thought about it. I thought about it a ton, especially in college too. but I knew I couldn't because exactly like it's spontaneous reactions. But actually writing stuff, like a lot of my humor wasn't anecdotal. It was just stuff I was responding to on the fly. That's why I didn't like it. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I have beginner's luck. It doesn't mean I need to start making a career or a habit out of it.
Yeah. Maybe you could use that in your crowd work pursuit.
That's true. Actually, that's a good point.
Being quick. Because then they know it's like on the spot because something just happened in front of you. So
yeah, and there's some relatives in my family that don't think I'm funny, or they don't think I'm very funny, and it seems like the general observation, and I'll get this from the relatives that think I'm funny, and then the ones that don't think I'm funny. The general consensus is that my improvised bits and my natural reactions are what make it funny, and I've seen that too. Some of my best nights where we had a good audience was when we had a good audience. They were active. They were engaged. Because then you can engage back with them. Comedy's a dialogue, man. I mean, sure, like there are some bits where it's a lot of talking on your end, and it is, for lack of a better word, a monologue, and you kind of have to do it at the risk of the people not reacting. Like you're not just gonna get on stage and be like, "All right, you guys are a dead crowd. I'm out of here. Bye." You might have felt that way. I might have felt that way before, but you're not gonna do that. Not, if they're being hostile, that's different.
I mean, yeah, why would you do that?
Exactly, yeah. Like, you're still practicing your public speaking and all that. But no, some of the best nights are when they're reacting with you and you're reacting with them. You know what I mean? Because then it's just fun, man. You're just kicking it back, having a laugh. That's what it's about, man.
Bouncing back and forth with them. Yeah, it's like, do you think you're still on the I guess, journey of being more outgoing or less introverted still today?
Oh, I think I always am. I notice I don't mind being open about it here because I feel like it might be to my benefit to be open about it here. I feel like I'm still kind of shy around some of the comics for no given reason.
Or you just don't know what to say, or
I don't necessarily know what to say because like people are into different things. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of the other comics are about my age. Like, I don't really like always know what to say and how to approach them.
I feel the same thing.
But I'm trying to break out of that. Like I was, having a good conversation with Sam Alazzo the other day, actually last night and the night before. And it's kind of weird. Like I'm not quick to approach him, and I'm not trying to just single him out. Some of the others, I'm not quick to approach some of these comics, but yet when I do, like, we hit it off, it's me, I'm not calling out anyone. It's just me,
Speaking of Sam, he does have a lot of good like comedy advice because I think he works at the club and he just I think he just sits back. I think he just sits back most of the time and just fucking absorbs it all.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, he gave me some pointers too about like talking about myself and relating to the crowd rather than just saying some crazy shit.
Right. Shout out to you, Sam. You're a good guy and a good comedian.
I think he's like one of the best.
You think so?
Out of the scene, yeah, for sure. I mean, he's still pretty damn new, but he hangs around like the guys who've been doing it for a while, and they give him tips and all that. So
I've been wanting to write more. That's the main thing. Like for me, the priority isn't to like make friends. Like, I mean, I love having friends. Friendships to me are important, but for me, like, so what's that?
Make enemies. I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, and I've got a few already. Yeah, screw them. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. No, I'm kidding. Thankfully, I don't think I have anyone that really despises me. I certainly don't despise anyone there, but it's all just good vibes, good energy, positive energy.
Maybe they don't hate you, but they'll probably just say some like, "Oh, this guy's a dork" or some shit.
Yeah, sort of but no, I want to do that. I want to like write more, and I was thinking about that earlier. Like, I want to find the people that like have the best comedic timing. They know how to craft the jokes. Because some of the comics, like Kareem, for example, since I'm name dropping people, why not, right?
That's what we do.
He's invested. He's invested in his journey in stand-up comedy, and he's invested in your journey and my journey and everybody's journey.
Who is it? I thought you said Kareen, like the woman.
No, not Kareen. She's funny too.
She's
I saw her last night at Go Bananas.
Yeah.
She moved on, rightfully so. She always brings that energy. Good stage presence, good humor, good comedic timing, all the stuff
she's pretty much a killer, honestly.
No, it's this guy named Kareem. He's Middle Eastern. You could tell he grew up in the States. I don't know if he grew up in Ohio, but shout out to you, Kareem.
I feel like
you're a funny man. You're a
good
guy.
I've seen him, but I don't know him.
He's always at Tap Room. Like, I feel like he's at Tap Room. He started to come out to other places, but I feel like I've seen him the most consistently at Tap Room. every time I get off stage, every time, Tyler, he approaches me, says, hey, man, I like that joke. Like, you should cut this. You should try this. Like, I got an idea. You could take this bit and you could shorten it. You could take out all this extra wording and just say blah, 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 punchline. This is that, punchline. And that's what I'm trying to do is make things concise. Even the anecdotal stuff, even the longer form bits, the more concise I can make it, the more opportunities for other jokes, for other laughs, for other just saving time. You know, if your bit is too drawn out with unnecessary details, you lose the crowd. Then you might have a funny line, you know, but no one's going to laugh because they're not paying attention, you know.
Yeah, trimming the
but
fat. But
he's exactly. But he'll workshop jokes with me just on the fly. And after doing that with him a few different times now, I thought, you know, I need to do this with the others. Like, I know that all of you guys or most of you guys will write jokes, even if it's just one or two things, you know, even if you don't have like a formal writing session or whatever.
Yeah.
You're you know, pitching ideas, spitballing ideas back and forth, seeing what works and what doesn't, you know. And I need to do that. You know, this journey has been very much like just me doing it on my own. And I never intended for it to be that way. It's not that I think that I know better. You know, I don't know. I could maybe ask for help more.
Finding your style or your voice, as they say.
Exactly. You know, and it helps, you know, like it's like if I were writing a research paper, I mean, I'm an English major, you know, it's like if having a fresh set of eyes look at it, you know, whether they have a background in writing or not, you know, like we all communicate to a degree.
Yeah. I think any feedback is helpful.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
Especially from guys who've been doing it longer.
And what I like about getting perspectives from other people, like not even just outside perspectives, perspectives from anyone, because an outside perspective, I guess, would be like a non-comics perspective or non-comedian's perspective.
A normal person.
Yeah. But anyone's perspective, you know, they will see something that you don't see. And I like that. You know what I mean?
That's what you're missing as being you, is like that outside perspective where you're just like, I never fucking thought of that.
Yeah. And that's why, like, I never used to like being made fun of in high school. Make fun of me now, you know, because you're going to make fun of something that's true about me and I'm going to learn from it. That's why I like being roasted. You know, when people get up there and they're like, look at Juan with his jacket, ha, ha, ha. That's a cheap roast. I don't care. I like the way I'm dressed. You know, say something that's going to like make me think. Say something that's going to be like, ooh, damn, like that must have hurt. Because I'm going to learn something from it. You know what I mean? The best thing I've done is learn from people around me. You know, people that observe stuff. Having roommates helps, you know, because they notice your habits. You know, the good ones and the bad ones. You know, and without that, you'd be like, oh, I didn't know I was doing that. Exactly. You know what I mean? So I like that. You know, they will see something in you or in your work that you can't see or you don't see, you know.
I like getting feedback from comedy. I also like getting feedback about the podcast where people will be like, that was a weird interview, or that was like a boring interview, something like that. And then when I'm in the moment now, I'm like thinking about it, and someone keeps fucking pinging me, and I don't know what the hell this is. Group chat. Okay, sorry.
I'm sorry.
But that threw me off. But yes, I just like feedback, even though I'm like, at the beginning, I was like, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. I'll find my way. I'm funny. But the more and more you do it, you realize there's like a pattern to follow with comedy. And it's like, these people know it a little bit better than I do.
Yeah. And the important thing is you're doing it, you know, you're doing it, the podcast, but comedy too, you know, like the idea is...
Not going to lie, I like this more. This is my thing. Way, way more than podcast or comedy.
For the record, anyone watching... Tyler enjoys doing this more than comedy.
Never
Please
forget.
come see him anyway.
Yeah.
At the very least, come see me.
I'll do a podcast live. Come see that.
Ooh, that'd be good.
That'd be sick.
I've thought about starting a podcast before, and seeing this setup, I could totally make it work.
Well, you mean it's simple, but the setup?
Yeah, and I'm not like I'm not making a dig at it. Like I don't want to make it complicated. This is a good setup, man.
And it doesn't need to be, really.
Right. I mean, and this is one of those things where I'll overthink it. I mean, most of the decisions I make, like I think, especially important decisions, I overthink them. Like with podcasts, I've wanted to do like a travel podcast, but I just want to be like, hi guys, like here are like top 10 reasons why you should visit London, England, or here are top 10 things you should never do on a road trip or something. I don't know. It's like, I don't want to be like,
yeah, don't do that.
I want it to be interesting. You know what I mean? And I feel like anytime I write, like I'll write a little script for it. the writing is just too academic, or it reads like a research paper.
Or you want to read it off as a transcript almost.
Exactly. Whether it's a podcast or a YouTube channel or a blog or a vlog.
You want it to be more loose. Like, you don't want to do that. You know what I mean?
Well, not just loose, but I want to have a personality. I want to be known for something. I don't just want to be like, exactly. I don't just want it to be some high school or college presentation. I'm just doing it.
Be like Trump. Go off the teleprompter every once in a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't want to be like Joe Biden and just reading everything word for word. He was on he was doing a speech and he read like end speech or something, or pause here. He read the directions.
I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah, man, that was funny.
Yeah, some people never start, like if their thing's a podcast, they never start because they want it to be perfect. And it's like, dude, you could fucking record this on your phone if you need to. Just put it out.
Exactly. But I could see, honestly, like one of the biggest things I learned about comedy is why people say, just start, just do it. It doesn't matter if you're good or not, you know? And I guess like I hear that and it sounds good on paper because like I can think like, yeah, like, you know, like athletes, obviously, like whether they're a soccer player or a football player or baseball player, like, yeah, their first time picking up a football or picking up a baseball bat.
Yeah.
Like they weren't good at it, but they had to start somewhere. But like with this, like, okay, like I actually had some good bits, you know, and when they say beginner's luck, sure, maybe, maybe not. But there's something that you got to chase. There's always some sort of takeaway, you know, like what you're saying about, to kind of pivot really quickly, or to go back really quickly to what you said about, you know, am I still in that process of finding myself, socializing? Yes, because I'm always thinking like, okay, what could I do? I need to interrupt these people less. I need to talk about these people, talk about myself less. I need to not talk so loud. I need to not fixate on one thing. I need to cut out awkward pauses. I need to, most of the time, I'm telling myself to talk less, actually, not to talk more. You know, because it's about quality of words, not quantity most of the time.
It's true.
But it's the same thing with comedy. Like I'm always taking away from it something different. Like, ooh, or maybe not always, but okay, what can I work on this week or this month or the next few times? It's not always, ooh, can I be funnier? Can I tell funnier jokes? Obviously, that's important. But can I work on stage presence? Can I work on staying organized? Can I work on not losing my freaking place in the set? You know what I mean? Can I work on improv? There's always something you got to chase. And you use that as a stepping stone, you know, or as like a building block, you know?
Yeah.
And you just, over time, you get better. You know, it's all about doing it. You know, it's because once you're doing it, then you can go, oh, here's what I need to work on. It's easy. I think it's easy to maybe hypothesize about what you could work on if you haven't done it. You know, it's not like, no, it's like, it's not about what could you do, what can you do. It's no, what will you do?
Damn.
You know?
Damn, that was deep, dude.
It was.
Yeah, well, it's like you could sit at home all night writing a joke and think it's great, but you really never know until you take it out. And that's the thing. Like, you have to take it out. You can't just fucking... Yeah. And then people always want to be like, well, not everyone, but some want to be perfectionists, and they're like, well, I got to be perfect right out the gate. And it's like, it really is like a sport. It really is like a muscle that you're constantly improving on. Like, even with this, I didn't become the best interviewer ever overnight.
All right.
And I'm not. I'm definitely not.
I'm saying, and he's still not.
Still not. It's a constant journey. Same with
you're doing good,
your
man.
whole...
You're doing good.
It's the same with your whole, like, becoming, like, more outgoing. You'll probably be working on that for maybe the rest of your life.
And that's fine.
That's the best way, best
as
way
long
to
as
look
I'm
at it.
Getting somewhere, doing different things. And what I've noticed is that, like, the more fun I have with it, the less I think there's a formula, the better I do. Because sometimes I think, oh, there's got to be a formula. There's got to be something, some sort of line, something. No, just literally when they say be yourself is like, that's not formulaic either. You know, like, be spontaneous. You know, I like spontaneity. You know what I mean?
Sometimes they're like, be yourself, and I'm just like, who am I? You know what I mean? It's like, am I gonna
find that out?
Am I gonna overreact, Tyler? Or am I gonna, like, be quiet, Tyler? It's just like, so, and it's interesting.
Yeah, because, like, you got to keep in mind, like, not everyone is different. I mean, if everything were formulaic, that would mean that the world was maybe more uniform or more rote, and I wouldn't want a more...
I used to feel that way.
Uniform or rote world, you know?
Yeah, I used to feel like there was some secret thing that I was missing. Like, why has everyone else got it figured out and I don't? It's like, what's the answer? And it's like, well, the answer is different for everybody. So,
and I'm starting to see that, and it's actually a humbling thing. It doesn't make me feel like I'm smarter or better, and I don't want to feel that way. I don't want to feel like I'm stupider or worse, but, like, just seeing that everyone's on this journey, it humanizes everyone, and maybe that's not the right word because like obviously we're all humans, but like
but nobody's.
It makes
perfect.
you feel like it's more of a level playing field.
Yeah,
you know what I
when
mean.
You realize no one is perfect, like no one is God. That's how I feel about it. It's like people may seem like they got it all together, but it's like no, somewhere deep down that guy's maybe fucked up, maybe, but
not me. No, I'm just kidding.
Not you, yeah, of course.
No, I got I messed up in all sorts of ways, so
Yeah. Do you want to talk about your life a little bit, like maybe how you grew up or how you I guess I don't know. What kind of kid were you in school? You said you were quiet in middle school.
Do I know? No.
Tried to be more outgoing in high school.
It's funny because I started out very outgoing. I was kind of immature, especially early on, and then I started becoming more mature. But I didn't really know how to interact with my peers because I didn't really. I had a couple friends.
A jokester, like maybe a class clown, sort of.
Actually, not really. No, No, that came later. I don't think I was ever really like the class clown.
Right.
I mean, I was always outgoing with people, but I never really kind of like never really like developed like more like deeper friendships, And I guess that's kind of why I grew to be introverted. We had some new kids come in, like in middle school or, like coming into middle school, and I feel like, I don't know if it was just them, because in my mind it was, but maybe it was just like, maturity or, growing, as kids, I guess. But I kind of feel like we were more kind of divided, like, there were the nerds, there were the jocks, there were, different kind of factions or sects or whatever you want to say, different kind of groups, within the school. And I went to a small K-8 school. I went to a Catholic school too, up in Hamilton, Ohio. Shit. And I never really kind of fit in with any of them, and that just kind of made socializing hard. So just naturally I grew introverted, like if you...
So you were the outcast kid.
Yeah. And I wasn't really involved in sports or extracurriculars till later, till later on in high school. And the issue is that came to bite me back in the butt, because when I moved on to high school, it was a lot of the same people, more people, and I got to meet more people, but they all knew each other from elementary school.
Yeah, same for me.
Yeah. So, they all knew each other, so it's kind of hard to kind of break in there. So I spent a lot of my time alone. You know what I mean? And I didn't really like it. This idea that be happy with yourself and be content, doing things independently. Yeah, I can do things independently, and I guess like I'm content. But no, man, I was wanting to fight that. I was wanting to challenge that, But the key is, I thought, how do I get these people to like me? It was about like kissing ass when it shouldn't have been.
Do you feel like you're making people laugh to make them like you, or to get their friendship validation, whatever?
Not really, but that's the thing, is it was all about, when I would try to make friends, it was all about like, that is, how could I get them to like me, instead of just how could I be myself?
Yeah.
Or how could I like them? Like I would think that the key more or less was like getting them interested in me, when, it's about investing in others. I'm not trying to make a profound statement. Like the more
it's getting pretty profound.
Well, I've seen it too. Now that I'm an adult, like I think it's easier to make friends now, like easier for me. Like I'm not saying it's easier as an adult. Like some people say that's true, others not so much, but just in my life, I've seen that it's easier to at least establish relationships,
Because you're going into it with like intention, maybe?
Well, yeah, I mean, like it's honestly just modeling and copying others. And again, like I'm not, it's not formulaic, but maybe not modeling and copying others, but like, for example, like a lot of the friendships I have, it's because they invested in me.
Yeah.
They weren't thinking, well, how can I get Juan to like me? They would ask about me. They would be concerned about me, and I don't even mean something profound, not like, hey, like, let me buy you a coffee. Just like asking me about stuff, listening to me talk about my life, good stuff, bad stuff, obviously common ground plays a role, you know what I mean? But, if I could say one profound thing, it's just not being selfish. I think I was more selfish, and I was very quick to maybe marginalize myself, and kind of think that like the world was out to get me or everybody was against me, Like, no, honestly, like I'm very chill right now. I used to be more uptight,
Yeah. I think you've gotten even more chill in the past few months just being out there in the wild,
And that's the thing, like it's embracing that change. It's embracing the unknown, Like it's fun. Like, again, I'm not trying to say something profound. Like, it's, obviously, sorry, go ahead.
It's like a little therapy session almost, but it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Have you done therapy?
I have done therapy. Yeah.
Dude, I can smell it on you. The way you're talking. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's nice, because I'm not being charged for this, It's free.
Yeah, I'm probably not the best therapist.
At the end, he's gonna be like, for saying all that,
yeah,
it'd be $15, which would be a great deal.
That wouldn't be bad. Go get some Wendy's with that.
I'm in therapy, but I don't. The thing is that I don't like it when therapy is like this. Like, sure, I should be talking about myself because the therapist should be helping me, but no, like I want to learn.
True.
You know what I mean? Like I want the therapist to kind of engage with me more. And kind of say, you're doing this, you're doing that. Like the best sessions are when I'm being challenged, not just when I'm talking for hours on end.
Is your therapist a male or female?
It's always been a woman.
Yeah.
Which I'm not saying that's a preference necessarily. I don't mind, I wouldn't mind having a male therapist, but it's just always been a woman.
They tend to be better with like emotional balance. But if you're going on the pursuit of like a masculine journey, maybe you'd go the other way.
Right. And that's something I'm trying to find in my life is more role models, more male kind of figures that I could look to. I don't mean like famous people. I mean like establishing, just establishing, a relationship or a friendship with someone, and just having them, having them to use as an example. I think I have some pretty good role models in my life, who are men and women. But, seeing as I'm a man, trying to have someone like that, or a few, I don't know.
Is your dad a positive role model?
He definitely is. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
He definitely is. He's a great man.
I've just got, I guess I've got like a quote unquote stepdad sort of thing. It's like, he's not married to my mom, but he's been around for 10 plus years. So I've just been like, got that. And then my uncle, but my dad's totally out of the picture. He's actually, up there or down there. I'm not, maybe both. Maybe down there.
Probably not both, but I see what you're going
probably
on.
not
Getting at.
But yeah, so I've just like take some scoops from him, my uncle, take some scoops from this guy, you know what I mean? And the guys around here. So
yeah.
And then the comedy people.
Yeah. But you're asking about my background. I grew up it's funny, I grew up going to Catholic school. I was never really Catholic. I feel like I was just kind of going through the motions, like when we would have mass, which is like church service for Catholics. And my mom wanted to raise me Catholic. My dad did not want to raise me Catholic. And it's just nice being on my own journey now. I'm not going to get on this podcast and start bashing my parents, but there was definitely some tension for a little while. But that tension isn't there anymore, and that's good. I'm glad that it's gone, but it's just about finding my own journey. But
so you're not going to church, is what you're trying to say?
No, I am going to church.
Oh, you are.
But I'm just saying it's my faith journey.
Yeah.
Not theirs.
Yeah, I feel that because I was pushed by my grandma to just by an early age, almost out of like a fear, like if you don't go to church, if you don't believe in God, you're whatever's gonna happen, go to hell, etc.
It's just the wrong approach,
It's not good because it makes you feel anxious about it.
No, yeah, and it's like that's not
superstitious. Maybe
that's not what life is about, and I don't like that approach because I mean it's not just like you better go to church or you're gonna go to hell. Like that's not how that works, and there's not even a verse in the Bible that says if you don't go to church you'll go to hell.
That's true.
But maybe we can talk about the faith stuff another time. You were asking about you're asking about my background. My mom is a Spanish teacher. My dad kind of worked in finance. Now he works in like supply chain.
Nice.
And he's always been kind of on the business end of things, but on my dad's side of the family, we were always kind of involved in like Hispanic ministry, or my family was. So, and my mom, being a Spanish teacher, she is obsessed with Latin American culture and different cultures. She's a Spanish teacher. She's not representing one country. She's teaching Spanish in Southwest Ohio. She's trying to bring a varied approach,
So both parents are Guatemalan?
No, my dad is from Guatemala. My mom is from Northeast Ohio. She speaks impeccable Spanish.
Yeah.
She studied abroad in Costa Rica as a teenager. She's still in touch with her host family.
Yeah, she just became like obsessed with the language. Now she's a teacher.
Yeah, I mean, to say she's obsessed would be an understatement. She has fallen in love.
Damn.
She fell in love with the language.
That might be me one day, dude.
Yeah, and she's currently married to a Peruvian. So I would actually hear more Spanish at her home than my dad's home.
Wow.
Which I'm not bashing my dad. He speaks Spanish to his family because my family is from Guatemala. But I would say both, like I wasn't always speaking it in the home, but always being around it in that environment allowed me to speak both languages. Even I've taken classes to improve it. I was in Spanish class in high school. I definitely got the expected question, why are you in Spanish class? Right. You speak Spanish.
Yes.
And it's like, well, I mean, we're all in English class and we
English?
all are supposed to speak English.
It's more of like a grammatical approach, maybe.
It is. Oh, yeah. And that's really what I learned, But also, watching soap operas, what they call telenovelas, or you can just call them novelas, watching other Spanish TV shows, watching movies dubbed in Spanish. Now with Netflix, watching, there's a lot of good TV coming out of Spain and Latin America actually right now,
I need to get into it. And the music. I like the Spanish music a lot.
The music is great. I'll give you one band, and I want to say it on this podcast so that you could have it.
I'll remember
watching.
Yes.
It's a band called Mana. Mana with an accent mark on the second A. Mana. They are a rock band from Guadalajara, Mexico. They've been around since the late 1980s, early 90s. Just rock and roll music. They try to blend different influences. The drummer's a beast. Alex Gonzalez, he's amazing. The singer, songwriter, lead vocalist, the frontman, Ferro Vera. People kind of call him like the Latin American version of Bono, and I do kind of see that in him. But just a great band. I've loved their music since I was a kid, and their album Donde Jugarán los Niños. There is no subtitles. Sorry, guys. It came out in 1992. If you guys want to look it up, Mana album 1992.
Does that mean where
will the children play?
Where will the children play?
Yeah, that's
wow.
That's their landmark album. If you ask people about Mana, they will certainly at least know one song from that album. Now, I've heard other albums, and I've seen them live. I've seen them do different songs from different albums, but that's a good band. Juanes is good. Cheyenne is good. He's from Puerto Rico. Enrique Iglesias is good. You've heard him, but he has English and Spanish stuff. Juan Luis Guerra is really good.
Know any of the newer people?
Not really. I mean, sure, there's like Bad Bunny and like
everyone knows Bad Bunny.
But like
Junior H. You know him? He's pretty popular. Junior.
I guess that's his name, just Junior.
It's Junior H, and that's his name.
Junior H. No.
Or another popular, Eslaban Armado. I think that might be a group or a guy. I don't know. These are people I listen to. I think maybe they're Mexican. I know I listen to Danny Lux a lot. He's Mexican, and you probably don't know him.
I don't know him, no, sorry.
But they're more like love songs, and the only reason I listen to them is because they're slow, and then I can sort of understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
But they're really good.
And then from Guatemala, there's Ricardo. You say that again. Ricardo Montaner. I don't really listen to his music now, which I'm not against him. I just haven't, but like my parents like him, My mom's more up to date with it than I am. My dad probably is too. I mean, thankfully the three of us are all pretty musically diverse, and getting into high school was really music for me. I wasn't really much of an athlete. I wish I had been, trust me, but I was always drawn more to music. I started playing guitar when I was 13. I was 12, but I started taking it seriously throughout high school, and I've been in and out of bands, nothing like too formal, but I played in bands, I was in a high school band. They let me play guitar in the high school band, which is pretty cool. They let other guitar players play guitar. It was pretty cool high school, actually, for letting us do that. I played the bass a little bit. I tried to learn to play the drums in high school, but never really caught on. But I want to get back into it because music has always been my passion, you know.
Damn, I never knew that about you.
What's that?
I never knew that about you.
Yeah, and you guys probably wouldn't really think about it because it's like we're all doing stand-up and we're all focused on stand-up. And stand-up comedy has definitely helped my stage presence. But let me tell you, Tyler, even on my toughest night, getting up doing music is still harder.
It's raining. Yeah,
it's raining.
I interrupted you to tell you that.
Let's be quiet. It's raining. Shh. Yeah. Even on my toughest night doing stand-up, doing music is still harder. Not more of a hassle, not a pain in the butt. Just, I mean, I guess sometimes it could be both of those, but just harder. You know, I don't have to worry about singing and like getting up and doing public speaking. Sure, I get nervous, especially now. I don't get nervous so much. I mainly only really get nervous now, like if I lose my place, because there's that added. It's not just that you lose your place. You're like, oh, there's an audience watching me, and they're seeing me physically lose my place. They're seeing me like visibly lose my place, and then it's kind of like the don't look down thing. Like as soon as you become self-aware, it's over. True. You know, then my anxiety starts flaring up, and you know, then I got to recover from it, and then it's awkward. But with music, you know, like I'm singing, I'm self-conscious about my singing, and I'm out of tune, and am I going to hit the high notes, and am I playing in time, and am I singing in pitch? You know, I mean, it's not hard. It's just harder than stand-up, that's all. Because if it's hard, I wouldn't do it.
Right. In their own ways, they're probably...
challenging.
I think they're both complex in their own ways, maybe.
Yeah.
But band, music...
It's like Mike Frank. I didn't know he was a dentist.
Frank. Right.
It's like so random, but it's like, well, I guess we do things outside of stand-up. We don't just write
everybody
jokes,
is also
you know?
Something else. You don't really think about that.
Yeah, and see, that's cool, you know? That's kind of one of those things where, like, if I just wanted to get you guys and everyone to like me... I wouldn't get to know about anyone else. I wouldn't get to know about what you do, what Mike does, I don't know, what Jonathan Hamill does.
We don't want
to. You know, what some of the other comics do. Because sure, like, even Blake Hammond.
Does he do anything outside of stand-up?
Well, he must. Like even if he doesn't do, like, anything else as a career, like, he must have hobbies, you know? Which,
hobbies, yeah. I'm just thinking,
like, what's his taste in music? What movies does he like? I don't know. Does he want to travel? Does he have any aspirations, like regarding traveling or aspirations in life outside of comedy? Dude. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Damn. I don't really think about it. Yeah, a lot of times I forget these people even exist outside of the comedy world. It's like once I see them here, I'm like, okay, they're clocked in, and once they leave, I just assume they're out, just like writing bits all the time.
Right.
But yeah, people have jobs.
Oh yeah.
Unless you want to be a broke comedian.
Which I don't.
All the time. Some do. Some want to be that starving artist. But I don't know.
Right.
You're a pretty damn good talker for someone who's so-called introverted, as you say. I mean, I probably wouldn't have gone off the cuff as much as you have, so I'll give you props for that. Trying to be more outgoing myself. So
it's funny because my family will say that I'm introverted. But I'll tell like my friends that, and they're like, "That's ridiculous. You're not an introvert," you know. And there's a term ambivert, meaning both, and I kind of like that term, but
well, it's like you can turn it on when you need it, sort of.
Exactly. Like I like my alone time, but I like socializing with others. You know,
you feel like
it's hard to socialize. Sometimes it's easy. So I don't know.
You feel like you ever need a recharge after a lot of socializing?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I get that too.
You know? But not like in a, I'm tired of people or I'm done with people sort of way. No, just like, okay, you know, like I hung out with them and, you know, now it's time to not hang out with them. I don't know. It's time to go do other stuff or time to go rest or something.
Maybe that was a silly question because I think everyone might be like that.
Well, no, it's a good question. Just maybe a nuanced question, you know, because like,
true.
For example, like you asked me if I need to recharge. Yeah, but it's not because people are draining. Sure,
they
some might be, but others are not, you know. So it's a good question.
And I don't know, anything that you wanted to say or that I didn't go and ask you? Because I really don't. I mean, comedy is sort of like the anchor for all of this, but we could really talk about anything at all.
Anything you say. I'll say this to the camera.
Oh, also the camera died. I didn't. Yeah, sorry, I just killed your vibe, but
But did it just die?
It died.
Well, that's most of the podcast. If that's how we were going to wrap up, that's fine.
It died only like 5 minutes ago.
Do people?
The mic is still on though.
I don't want to sound like a smart aleck, but do people like just listen to the audio only, or do they just try to watch the videos if they know there's a video?
I think if there's a video, they'll probably glance at it, or to like see like a body language reaction sort of thing. But I don't think they're sitting and watching the entire video.
Gotcha.
Maybe some do, but
yeah, because in my mind I'm thinking, oh, what's the point? But anyways, not in a smart aleck way, but like if the video died, they're gonna not. It's like there's gonna be nothing to watch. But yeah, no. To the people listening, I'll just say this to everyone. Yeah, support local art. You might think you're not an artist because you can't draw. I can't draw. I'm not good at visual art. You know, if anything, I have more of an admiration for it. Like anything from paintings to cartoons to anime. Damn. But we're all artists. We all have the ability and the power to create. So go support local art. Go to a comedy show. Go to a concert. Pick up an instrument. Listen to music. That's all art. Public speaking is an art.
Damn. Do you have a favorite anime?
No, I don't.
Do you watch anime?
Not really, but I have an appreciation for it just as a form of art. No, I actually never got into it, but I feel like a lot of my friends are into it.
Yeah, I've tried to get into it.
It seems like a lot of the friends, especially ones that I'm closest to, are into it. Here's this one I'm recording. Hold on a second. I got a message here. I didn't want to check my phone on camera, but
they can't see it.
Yeah. Anyways, no, I kind of want to get into it. Like I met a girl from Florida over the holidays who's into anime.
Ooh.
And she's into anime. That's actually not a great way to first describe her. It is, but no, she's an artist. And she draws, and a lot of it is like anime, and she takes inspiration from anime. She's a great artist. I tried to get her to do a logo for me, actually. She was like, sorry, I'm all booked up.
Oh.
Yeah. But no, she's a
she
great
want you
artist.
to pay for it?
What's that?
Were you going to pay for it?
I was going to pay for it. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, but she was like, I'm sorry, I'm all booked up at the moment. I was like,
Damn.
okay.
Be like that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it'd be like that, bro. It'd be like that.
I mean, we hit the hour mark. I don't know if you want to go for a little bit longer or...
Have we been talking for an hour already?
Yeah. It
Man,
flies
time
by.
flies when I just...
You're speaking into a microphone.
And I don't let the other person talk.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, that's why we're here. You're filling the gaps. I'm just the moderator, so to speak.
Yeah. No, well, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Yes, I was going to... Thank you. Ask.
What do you want to do with comedy? Like you say you enjoy podcasting more. Just what do you want to do with... We'll broaden it and say, what do you want to do with a career in entertainment? Do you want to keep doing this? Do you want to focus more on podcasting? Do you want to start a YouTube channel, a TikTok channel? Do you want to do more, I don't know, presenting, like maybe hosting?
Damn, you're a good interviewer already. I will say...
Background in journalism.
I will say, I have a YouTube channel, so we're already there.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And I do stand up. I think to strengthen my muscle with this, just to become a better speaker. I don't necessarily want to be a comedian, but it's more of just the public speaking aspect I get from it and the socializing. And honestly, this is the one thing that I enjoy. Maybe this is like your music, but to me, this is like my one thing where I'm just like, yeah, this is fucking... I just enjoy recording, editing, all that shit for the pod. And
that's good, man.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that. Well, yeah, I just kind of, if there's one question I could ask the other comics, it'd be that. I'm interested, especially some of the newer comics, like, because the questions that I might have for them is like, how long have you been doing it? Why did you get into it? Did some friends tell you about it? Did some family, talk you into it or, suggest that you do it? But now I'm kind of interested on the other side of it too. Like, what are your plans for the future? Because like, you look at like Ian or Jake or Cody, and they're seeing these opportunities. I think they're getting paid for it more. They have a reputation, even if it's not only, but even if it's strongest within like the comedy scene, within like the comics that know them and see them every week, they have one nonetheless, and it kind of makes me think like, I wonder, I don't know how old Ian is, like late 20s, for example, but like
Maloney?
I'm 24 now. No, Ian Squints.
Oh, I think he's my age. Well, how old are you?
I'm 24.
Okay. I think he's just a few years older.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, he's been doing it for a few years. So it's like, he was a newbie at one point. I'm a newbie now. As you know, it's funny. I don't like being called new at the open mics anymore. When the hosts are like, he's new to the scene. Next time I hear that, I kind of want to get on stage and say, the next time someone says I'm new, come on. I've been doing this for 6 months now.
That's sort of new. I mean, at some point it will go away because I used to be the new guy.
No, fair enough. But, you know, like they
just need to see your face enough.
No, fair enough. And that's why I want to get out and do it more. I need to be more intentional. I need to write more, you know, and I'm not at the moment, but I need to, you know, and I really want to start doing it more. Because I think there's some potential, you know, kind of like you, like I don't know if I really want to be a comedian. I don't know if that's going to be my main thing. But that has actually helped to my benefit. If I was doing this because I wanted to make it big, I'd probably suck, bro. Like I probably would. Everything would be forced.
I feel like there's no real money in it, at least for the first few years.
Everything would be forced. I would be stressed and I would be miserable. You know.
Yeah,
I can tell you that.
Because you're trying to form an outcome, I guess. Like, I want to be the best.
Yeah.
Or popular, famous.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just having fun and having a laugh, man. Like, that's what we're here for. I know some of my jokes don't land. I'm new, you know, but it's about having fun.
And it keeps you busy.
But I see, like, Ian Squints. I'll call them out by their full names now. Ian Squints, Jake Duran, Cody Walker. Like, you know, they've been doing it for a few years, you know. Maybe some of them probably closer to 10 years at this point. And they want to do something with it, you know. I've seen Ian host mics before as a guest host. He guest hosted at the Chameleon a few weeks ago. That was great. I really loved seeing him in the role of a host. I think he fits it. I'm not saying that he should be a host or he must be a host, but it's good. You know, Jake Duran is hosting the mic at the B-List now. You know, Cody Walker does Tap Room. I saw him yesterday at Go Bananas for the Funniest Person in Cincinnati contest.
Nice.
Oh yeah, it was funny. It was good. He moved on, and I'm glad he moved on. He's hilarious. Yeah, he brought his A game last night. He did really well. He
gets so much practice by hosting. So
oh yeah,
that helps.
Yeah, but it just makes you think. Like, it makes me think. Like, you know, they're dedicated to the craft. You know, so what are they hoping for? You know,
yeah, everyone has their own like thing that they want out of it. So it's interesting to ask them that.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably getting more opportunities out of it, but what do they want out of it? You know, what are they hoping for?
Or maybe they want to be a comedian, sort of thing.
Maybe, yeah.
But yeah, I was gonna add something on to what you're saying about Cody. I don't remember what you just said actually.
No, just that he did well last night at Go Bananas.
Yeah, I was gonna say something. I just feel like he's just. All those guys that are doing well, they just have tons of stage time, and that's really it. All it is you're sharpening that muscle all the time. Some people do it part-time. I think the more often you go out, the quicker you're going to get to whatever higher status you want to be or more skill you'll have.
And that's why I was saying earlier about, like, when my family says just do it, like, I'm seeing that now. Like, it's easy to kind of want to manipulate and kind of go, well, you know, and fine tune and plan everything, you know, like down to a T so that it's perfect, but you know, it's not going to go that way anyway. But like, I don't know what's going to come out of this. I don't know what's going to happen next week or what's going to happen next month. You know, like maybe I'll be on a show next week. Maybe I'll be on a show next month, you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll be in a short film. I know that the comics do short films sometimes. Yeah. I'd love to do that. You know, I've done acting before. I was in an indie film when I was a kid. I've done acting since then. Most of it, like for like short films, most of it actually in college. But you know, I took acting classes in high school and in college. You know, and I did it not because I wanted to become an actor. You know, not because I didn't want to. I mean, who doesn't want to become an actor? Well, plenty of people want to become an actor. Who doesn't want to become famous? I guess, but
a lot of people.
No, it's fun to kind of get to not be yourself and kind of explore like maybe different personalities of yourself or different personalities. Like you're playing something that's not you. You know, you're this character with this personality, with this demeanor, with this, I don't know, attitude, but you're not that person.
Yeah.
That's acting, you know?
Maybe you lose who you are by doing it. Like
Maybe.
Jim Carrey. Like, who the fuck am I? Lose your mind.
Yeah.
But is that it? Anything else you need to say? Did you need to like tell people how to find? Oh, there's no camera. Tell people how to find you. Tell people where you're gonna be. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram at J Minera Jr. That's it. JMINERA JR. Pretty easy. You know, nothing fancy, no thrills about it. Just pretty basic Instagram handle, which is good. Pretty simple.
Yes.
I want to start a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You can find me on Facebook at Juan Minera Jr. You know, if you friend Juan Minera, that's my dad. He's gotten plenty of friend requests from my friends.
No way.
Yeah, he's called me before. Like, I got a friend request from this person. Like, yeah, that's my friend.
Damn.
I don't know if it's happened plenty of times, but it's happened before. It's kind of funny, actually. But
That's crazy.
yeah, I'll tell people, like, I'm not the bald guy, obviously.
Yeah, I thought that'd be obvious.
Yeah, but I want to start a YouTube channel and maybe like an Instagram page just dedicated to doing stand-up. People keep saying to hold off on it, not to do it, but
Fuck that.
yeah, I kind of want to give it a shot, man. Why not?
What would be on the YouTube? Like just stand-up sets?
Just stand-up bits and maybe doing reels of funny stuff. I don't know.
Well, I think the only reason they say not to is because then you're burning material, but you're so new, it's like it really doesn't matter.
What do you mean by burning material?
Like anything you're working on, you've already released to the public at that point, and so it's like your joke's
That's
out
true.
there. But I don't look at it the same way. It's like
I'm not doing most of my jokes that I was doing 3 months ago, though. Like when I was newer, like
Yeah.
looking back to January, which was not 3 months ago, but looking back to January, like
I think it's silly.
I'm not doing like 90% of those jokes, probably more than 90%.
At our point, I think it's silly to not put stuff out there, like because you want the exposure right now. You kind of need
Exactly.
it the most right now. So I'd say put it all out there.
I would say, yeah, the more you can put yourself out there, because like I'm hesitant to show videos to family and friends because my mentality is no, come see me.
True.
You know, like sure you could show me like a little video, you could show me a demo of a song, or you could show me the finished product. You know, you could show me a video of a live performance, and obviously that's different. You know, if it's a concert, because a live performance will bring a song to life. But like you could show me like a little clip. Maybe, in fact, that's not a good example, but maybe you could show me like a little clip of something, or you could show me the whole thing. There's something that's lost when you're not watching it live. But I had someone tell me recently, like, no, like show them videos, and then they'll go, oh, this is his material. Oh, he's funny. I need to go see him because what am I'm missing out? And I thought, yeah, I think that's what I need to do. And also, if I could put my name out there, I mean,
It's for the people that can't see you live or haven't seen you live. That's who you're putting it out for. So.
And also the other thing is like think about all the artists, musicians, comedians, whoever that you've seen, whether it was on Facebook or social media or TV or YouTube, like you first probably saw them on a screen.
Yeah.
You know, whether they were like a famous, like big time comedian or more of an amateur comedian or someone in the middle, you know, like a popular comedian, but not like Chris Rock, you know, for example. And then you go out and see him. You know what I mean? It's word of mouth, and I think word of mouth has been extended now with the internet, you know, and all these different channels and different forms of media, you know.
It's all true. I agree. Is that it? We ending it here?
No, let's go for another hour. No,
All
I'm
right.
just kidding.
One day I'm doing that. I'll have a 3-hour podcast.
You should, bro. I'll be on the 3-hour podcast. Why not?
Dude, just talk about nothing. Well, talk about things, but I don't know how entertaining it would be for 3 hours.
I mean,
sometimes I just listen to boring ass podcasts for no reason, and it doesn't have to be super entertaining. It could just be a guy talking, and I'm just like, oh, passes time. But that's all this was. It was like a conversation.
It's nice to get to know people, you know, just to get to meet people.
Yeah,
you know, it's nice being with people different from you, even with people that are the same. You know, like common ground and common interests are fun, but just getting to meet different people that are into different things, different backgrounds, interests, etc. Yeah. You know. But yeah, man, no, thank you for having me on the podcast. It was a lot of fun.
Definitely.
And yeah, thanks a lot, man.
And you'll probably be back one day. Don't worry.
I would like to. I know we had talked about you, me, and Ian Maloney.
Yeah.
The three of us doing a podcast. Maybe
we were gonna
after
do that
the next roast. Because at this point, it's a little too late after the first roast. But he and I have already agreed, and have already discussed doing another roast. We do. We both want to do it.
A roast live on the podcast.
We could, yeah. But no, if you want to have both of us,
Yeah. No, I think it was best to give the people like an introduction of who you are before it's just two people colliding. Because then I'd be wanting to interview you, and then Ian's talking, and then it's like, so this was better.
That's kind of why I wanted to do it that way. Like, if I had been on the podcast before, then yeah, but like, I've never been on your podcast. I mean, no offense to Ian, but it sounds like we're saying the same thing. But
yeah, this is a good introduction. Well, I thank you for coming on, and everyone, thanks for listening.
Thank you, Tyler, and yeah, thank you for listening, everyone.
And peace.
Bye.
You gotta say it too.
Oh,
peace.
Peace.
Boom.